ordinance provide us the guidelines how a mentally disordered patient is to be treated in a health setting. All right. I have given the two categories, the how the patient is being admitted. One is the formal and one is the informal admission and the second one is the formal, for which the formal mean the proper uh, application process is to be followed by the near relative. In case of voluntary, the patient who is having uh, insight about his state, he can directly walk in to the doctor to get the advice. But when patient has lost his insight, he is not aware of about his condition. So in that situation, the family or the relatives, they are the caretaker of that person. So far, I have I have been discussing the various situations, how the admission process is being handled. As far as the formal admission is concerned, there are four varieties I discussed last time. Just for revision's sake, anybody can recollect what is what are these four varieties? The one was admission for assessment, and if the patient, this is again the patient is taken up for the assessment, application by the near relative supported by two medical certificates, and then this application is presented to the head of that institute where the psychiatric facility is available. And if the patient is admitted under for the purpose of valuation, the he can be retained in the hospital for 28 days. This is the limit of retaining the patient for the purpose of assessment. Up, he can be retained for 28 days. This is covered under section 10. In the application, the details are given that patient condition is being elaborated, and it is being conveyed that it is for the safety of or care of the patient as well as protection of the society as well, because a mentally sick person can harm the persons nearby. So the limit of retaining the patient for the purpose of assessment is 28 days. And if he is found that he is suffering from mental sickness, then this patient is further formally continue to be admitted for the treatment purpose. If he is found not suffering from any mental illness, then this patient is being discharged. Second situation is admission for there is one possibility that the person admitted for assessment may be continued and admitted for treatment. But however, sometimes the patient is directly brought for the admission for treatment. That is covered under the section 11 of this mental health body. So again, the same procedure, application supported by the two medical certificates. All right. And then the third situation is that urgent admission. Urgent admission, sometime the formality of preparing application, getting the medical certificate is not feasible. In that situation, the relatives take the patient to the hospital and they request the doctor in charge of that hospital to urgently admit the patient because his condition is such that he is difficult to be managed at home. So, under this provision of Section 12, he can be retained for 72 hours. If the further stay is necessary, then the formalities of application and medical certificates by the two doctors are necessary to be followed. Then he will be, in that case, the further detaining of that patient is to be continued. There is another section, section 13. That section is concerned with already admitted patient. He wants to leave the or wants a discharge from the ward, but the doctor on duty, he feels that his condition is not such that he can be relieved from the hospital. So he can retain for this patient, already admitted patient, for 24 hours. And then the next day, if the psychiatrist will examine and if he agrees or disagrees for discharge, then the final outcome will be decided. So far I have discussed about the various situations in which the patient is being admitted in the psychiatric unit. The value of this application is very important. This application is basically an authority from the parents or the family side or from that this patient needs admission and he may be. And this application and these medical certificates, they must be utilized within 14 days of getting the certificate. If the period has been more than 14 days, then you have to take fresh certificate from the doctors. All right, in case of emergency application, it can be the patient can be taken to the hospital and this period of 24 hours beginning at the time in case of emergency holding. That 24 hours starts when the doctor think that this patient is not fit to be discharged. He can retain him for the 24 hours. Next comes the next chapter of this ordinance is the how the patient is to be discharged. Or sometime the patient may, the relatives may ask for the leave to the patient. So leave mean a relative may ask the hospital authorities that we want to take this patient to home for a limited period of time. But for that purpose, they have to give the understanding or undertaking that they will take care of the mentally ill person to prevent the patient to cause injury to himself or to the other. They will take care. He may not damage to the nearby persons around or himself he may not harm. Or and secondly, thirdly, they will undertake, they will bring back the patient after expiring of the leave. So for example, the festivities like Eid days, the relatives may want to have the patient at home. They request for the leave. All right. So after getting 4, 5, 6 days leave, then again the patient is sent back to the hospital. No, the discharge of the patient. It is very, very important. What are the various situations in which the patient is discharged or there may be a possibility a mentally disordered person he may be admitted within some psychiatric unit with some malafide intentions. A person who may be labeled as mentally sick and may be put into some hospital, labeling him or connivance of some hospital management may be retained over there with a malified intention. So the rights of the person who is mentally sick, really sick, or he has been labeled as fake mentally sick, it should be very much well aware of. So section 21 deals with the psychiatrist in charge of the treatment may order discharge of the patient at any time he deem it appropriate. So when the psychiatrist feel that patient is now fit to be discharged, he can discharge the patient. That is the normal procedure without any sort of complication. There is provision of section 22. Any patient who feel that he has recovered apply to the magistrate. Now here comes the elimination of some malified intentions. Patient feels that he is okay, he is recovered, he is in very much in his senses, but the doctor is not discharging him. Now, how he can proceed? Or the doctor is not discharging, there might be some malified that he may be favoring some other body. He wants to keep that patient in the hospital. They might have some interest with his property or etc. So they want to keep this person segregated into some hospital. So in that situation, the patient has right to apply to the magistrate. He will send this application to the person who he has trust with him, and magistrate in response to that application in which the patient requests for the discharge from this uh, uh, mental care hospital, the magistrate, after making necessary inquiry, order for the discharge of the patient. So here the right of the patient is being protected. Unnecessary retaining of the patient in the hospital is eliminated by this section 22. You got this point? Very important that if the patient is unnecessarily retained in the hospital, the patient has right. Similarly, the section 23, if the person admitted for assessment is found not mentally disordered and is capable of taking care of himself or managing his affairs, he will be discharged by the psychiatrist. There is, it is a simple matter. Admitted for assessment, found to be okay, then he will be discharged. Or if he has got some problem, he can be managed as an outpatient in department of the hospital. There is another section, section 25. What's that? Sometimes the relatives may think that our patient is okay. We have admitted him after applying it, but the authorities are not discharging him. Again, there could be an element of malafide. So in that situation, the relatives of the patient may apply to the magistrate for the discharge of this patient. And magistrate, in consultation with the psychiatrist in charge of that treatment, will allow or dismiss the application. So the magistrate, after having consultation with the psychiatrist, if he feels that the patient is fit and can be discharged, then he allow or order. But if the psychiatrist does not agree that he cannot be discharged or he is not recovered, then in that situation the magistrate will dismiss the request for discharge by the relatives. So this was the method or the various procedures which are to be followed for discharge of the patient from the hospital, the psychiatric hospital. There is another situation. Sometime a mentally disordered person may be walking around in public places, in some parks or some the places like that, and he's creating some fuss. The person around may be at risk. He may be throwing some stones around the people, or there is another possibility that the person around that mentally disordered person, they may be teasing that person. You may be familiar that day to day, sometime the mentally disordered persons are around. The children, they start teasing that such sort of persons. That is again, it is the what is necessary that that person who is not mentally normal, he should be protected. So to cover this mentally disordered person who who is not known, and he is wandering, who is not being identified, where are his relatives or custodian, and he is all alone wandering in the public places. How these are being taken up. If an officer in charge of the police station finds in a place to which the public have access, meaning by public place, the person whom he has reason to believe is suffering from mental disorder and to be in immediate need of care control. The person, a police official who saw this person and he thinks that he is suffering from some mental sickness, illness, and he needs a care. So the said officer, if he thinks that it is necessary to do so in the interest of that person or for the protection of the others, the person around, the society, to remove that person to a place of safety, which means only a government run health facility. A government run psychiatric facility, he thinks that he should be shifted to a psychiatric unit run under the government. Or there is an alternative that that's one possibility that of police official who sees such person who is wandering in the public places to take this patient to the nearest psychiatric facility of the government. Or second option is there, he will try to find out or ask from the public, uh, is there anybody who knows the relative of this person who is wandering around? If he is successful in getting contact with the relatives, then he will hand over this person to the relatives who are willing to receive this patient. That is the second option. A person removed from any such place and shifted to the hospital, he can be retained there for 72 hours for the purpose of examination by a psychiatrist or medical officer nominated by that psychiatrist for making necessary arrangement for his treatment. Or if the person he is he is taken care of by the police, he can be retained by up to 72 hours in that psychiatric. Subsequently, if a prolonged treatment is required, they try to trace out the relatives of this patient so that it should be in the knowledge and their willingness should be there that he has been admitted to a psychiatric unit and a formal application may be made. So this was about the diagnosis I have already discussed with you in the previous lecture. Now I want to give you certain psychiatric terms which are commonly used With reference to diagnosis, I have given you certain. So affect mean the feeling or mood. Neurosis, the illnesses in which the they involve emotional side of the human being. We call them as the affective disorder. There are two types of illnesses. One is the neurosis and other is the psychosis. In neurosis, only there is involvement of the emotional or the affective side of the person, and the person is aware of his condition. Whereas in cases of psychotic illnesses or psychosis, there is loss of reality. The person is totally withdrawn from the reality. He thinks that he is living in some other world. The world of fantasy. He is not actually what is going around. He is not aware of. In other words, we call it as he has lost insight. All right. Psychopath is term used in the persons, the psychopersons. Psychopath persons are basically personality disorder persons, and they are basically not normally behaving in the society. It is a behavior problem, and they do certain things which are against the norms of the society, and they they performs their actions under the impulsive behavior. They have no control upon them. Impulsive behavior means they are forced to do that, but without having his their own control on his thought process. Various terms sometimes you get in note in the form of notes. Delusion, these are the basically I've already discussed briefly when discussing how to diagnose a mentally disordered person. Sometime out of these certain terms they you get in SEQs. Delusion. Delusion is a false but firm belief in something which is not a fact, because the person's thought process has been disturbed. So he built up some idea in his mind, and that idea is not true. That is not a fact. That's why we call it as a delusion. Delusions are of various types. One is hypochondriacal delusion. What it means, the patient thinks that he has serious illness. He may say he has cancer. So such sort of feeling continuously in his mind that he is seriously sick. He may die because of this illness. He is all the time, he is afraid of his clinical situation. But this belief is false. In fact, he is not suffering from any serious illness, but he takes this idea in his mind that he is having a very serious illness. Delusions of poverty, the patient start thinking that he has loss of finances. He is really ruined. With every person he will he talk in that sense. I have been ruined financially. Nihilistic delusions. Patient says there is no world. He does not exist. He is a dead body. This is a feeling of that person. He start thinking himself that he is not a live creature person. Such sort of feeling we call it as nihilistic delusion. Sometimes you may get some SEQ with this type. Delusions of infidelity. The patient suspects that his wife is not maintaining the modesty. He has the suspicious thinking about his wife. Such this sort of delusions are called infidelity. Uh, he thinks that our wife is not wise. Delusions of persecution. The patient imagines that attempt is being made by his near relative to poison him or kill him. He's all the time afraid of the person around me or my relatives. They are against me, and sometimes he all the time thinks they will poison me in the food. They may kill them. So these delusions or persecutions are very dangerous. Sometimes this delusion of under the person is under the delusion of persecution, he may harm the person around him. So such sort of delusions are very dangerous, and person may kill somebody else. Hallucinations is another feature of psychotic illness. There's, like the delusions is a feature of psychotic illness. Similarly, hallucinations are again feature of psychotic. This means a false perception without a sensory stimulus. There is no stimulus. The actual thing is not existing, but the person have feeling of that thing. Visual hallucinations, he may feel the lights is falling on his eyes, or he sees some frightening faces. कोई उसे डरा रहा है, धमका रहा है. Wild animals, he may see the wild animals, but actually these animals are not there. But it comes in his mind. He thinks that I am seeing all these terrifying scenes. Auditory hallucination, the patient hears the certain sounds like the people are abusing him or demanding that his death or like that. Or sometimes he feels holy voices. आपने कभी सुना होगा कि बाज का मेंटली सिक पर्सन कहते हैं मेरे पे वही नाजल होती है. तो वो होली वॉइसेस जो है दैट इज विद ए कॉल कि वही नाजल होती है. they are actually suffering from auditory hallucination. Hallucination of smell, unpleasant smell feeling. Hallucination of taste, that they feel a different taste to the for the food they may take. Hallucinations of touch, similarly, they have different type of feelings regarding the touch sensation. So there is another term which is the illusion. What it means? This means a false interpretation of an object or mistaking a stick for a snake. That in this case the thing is there, but that thing is not actually what is that. The person is misinterpret that. They, on the ground there is a stick. He may think that there is a snake. Lucid interval, you may get some note on the lucid interval. This is a period in course of mental disease during which there is complete cessation of symptoms of insanity legally responsible for it. Lucid interval means there is temporary cessation of mental sickness, and during that period, person can react with the persons around, and sometimes he may make the contracts or like these documents he can sign when he is in the lucid interval, that his insanity is suspended for a certain period of time. That is the lucid interval. So these terms, maybe you get some SEQ, and I want to give you the experience of the last year or probably the year before that. The regarding there was a question about what are the various situation in which the mentally disordered person is admitted in the psychiatric. So I discussed, rather repeated the various steps: the informal admission, or formal admission, for assessment, for treatment, urgent admission, or emergency holding. These are the various situations which you have to discuss if there is some question like that. Delirium is another term which is used, acute confusional state in which such situation may occur during high fever or Delirium may occur if there is alcohol intoxication or withdrawal of alcohol may precipitate this delirium. Delirium. Head injury cases may get the delirium. So it is characterized by there is clouding of consciousness, disorientation, incoordination, hallucination, illusions, and impulsive and behavior may be there. All these things may be found during the state of delirium. The patient is in a semi-comatose condition. There is no orientation, no coordination of the movements, and may have some hallucination, illusions may be there in such state. Confabulation is also a symptom of certain conditions, psychiatric. And the course of psychosis basically related with the alcohol, chronic alcoholics, and the patient enters into the early stages of dementia. And patient to fill the gaps because of dementia, he uh, forget the certain events. So he make the false stories to complete his version or to speak about something. He makes the false stories. Confabulation is to make the stories, making stories, and this happens usually in the cases who have in the early stages of dementia. So this was about the various terms which are being used during the psychiatry.